much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to this special 1980s edition of Pointless Celebrities, the show where the aim of the game is to avoid the obvious answers and find the obscure ones. Let's meet this evening's Pointless Celebrities. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Carol Decker. I'm the lead singer with the multi-platinum selling UK band Tapao, best known for going to #1 for 5 weeks with China in Your Hand.
Hi, my name is Dennis Seaton. I'm the lead singer of Musical Youth, who had a #1 with a song called Pass the Dutchie.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Jo Jury, tennis player. I was ranked #5 in 1984.
Hi, I'm Bob Champion. Having got over cancer, I came back and won the 1981 Grand National on Aldenity.
Couple number three.
Hello, I'm Duncan Norvell. I was famous in the 80s. I was a comedy impressionist and I had the catchphrase, chase me. But when I had the stroke, I've had to change it now to push me.
My name's Samantha Fox. Started my career in 1983 as a pastry girl, glamour model. And then in 1986, I started a pop career, and my first big hit was called Touch Me, and went to #1 in 17 countries, and I'm still doing that today.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Lizzie Webb, and I'm an 80s TV fitness presenter.
Hello, I'm John Ketley, and I'm simply a weatherman.
Thank you very much, all of you. A very, very warm welcome to Pointless. It's lovely to have you all here. We'll get a chance to chat a bit further throughout the show, of course, as it goes along. So that just leaves one more person for me to introduce. He's more retro than a cassette player with no rewind button. It's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening to you.
How are you?
Do you know I'm very well?
Excellent. We have 2 returning players on today's show. Carol Decker on podium 1 there has been on the show before, got through to the final. How about that? Very impressive. Until you hear that Lizzie Webb won the jackpot. So even more impressive. Very few double jackpot winners, Lizzie, but I'm sure you can give it a good go. Although, quite often we do sports specials.
Yeah.
And they're always super competitive. But on this one, we've got 2 sports stars, but they're against non-sports people. So I would say podium 2 are the people to beat. Duncan, delighted that you changed your catchphrase from chase me, because I was going to have to say we're not allowed to use the word chase on this show. It's just for contractual reasons, really. And a special treat at the end of the show, we're going to have an amazing musical performance by one of our guests. Even better news, it's not John Ketley. I won't say who it is till the end.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as today's show is a celebrity special, each of our celebrities is playing for a nominated charity, so therefore we start off with an enhanced jackpot of £2,500. There it is. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. You just have to remember one thing, and it is this. The pair with the highest score at the end of each round gets eliminated. Just keep them as low as you can, and you'll be fine. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category this evening is famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and our question concerns people with the initials MM. Richard.
Yep, on each board, we're going to show you 7 clues. The answers to all of them are someone who has the initials MM. So there's going to be 7 on the first board, 7 on the second, 14 and all to have a go at home. Good luck.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our first board of clues to people whose initials are MM, and here they come. We've got partner of Vivienne Westwood in the shop called Sex, who became manager of the Sex Pistols. Born Norma Jean Mortensen, she starred in The 7-Year Itch. Comedian who won a BAFTA in 2017 for his self-titled Big Show. Female disciple of Jesus, who was one of the first to witness the resurrection. Footballer who scored for Italy and wound up Zinedine Zidane in the 2006 FIFA World Cup final. UK Northern Ireland Secretary at the time of the 1998 Good Friday Agreement. And the real name of the US rapper Eminem. included in the title of his 2000 UK #1 album. I'll read those all again. Partner of Vivienne Westwood in the shop called Sex, who became manager of the Sex Pistols. Born Norma Jean Mortensen, she starred in The 7-Year Itch. Comedian who won a BAFTA in 2017 for his self-titled Big Show. Female disciple of Jesus, who was one of the first to witness the resurrection. Footballer who scored for Italy and wound up Zinedine Zidane in the 2006 FIFA World Cup final. UK Northern Ireland Secretary at the time of the 1998 Good Friday Agreement. And the real name of US rapper Eminem, included in the title of his 2000 UK #1 album. There we are. Carol, welcome back.
Pleasure to be back,
Welcome
as always,
back.
Alex.
Now, listen, I tell you what I want to ask you about.
Yes.
I want to ask you about Bridge of Spies, your first fantastic album.
Thank you.
Then, a few years ago, a friend of mine's brother wrote a book called Bridge of Spies that was all about the Cold War and the
Yes.
exchange of, spy exchange. And then some guy called Steven Spielberg did a film, I think, called Bridge... Had someone, Tom Hanks
never
or someone
heard
in
it,
it?
I know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
hang on. As far as I'm concerned, Bridge of Spies
First.
comes from T'Pau.
Yeah. It was, and I remember at the time, I think it was, correct me, Richard, Anatoly Sharansky. Yeah.
It was Anatoly Sharansky, yes, it was.
His wife was at the other end of the Bridge of Spies where they did the spy swaps. And I was moved by their story that she'd fought tirelessly to get him back. So my opening lyrics were, "So long I've waited for you to come to me, anticipated what I would say." And it was the love story within that spy story. Did Steven Spielberg call me to do the soundtrack?
That's what I was going to ask.
I'm not talking to him anymore.
No, I shouldn't.
Unbelievably,
I
he
shouldn't.
called John Ketley instead. You think, come on, mate. Come on, Spielberg.
Mind you, John, that was a beautiful track. I have to say.
In its time, it was.
Now, Carol.
Yes.
So who are the famous people beginning MM who match these clues?
I'm going to go for UK Northern Ireland Secretary of State, which I think was Mo Mowlam.
Mo Mowlam, says Carol. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mo Mowlam. Mo Mowlam, Zach's absolutely right. And down he goes to 14. Well done, you, Carol. Fabulous start to the round.
Very well played, Carol. You can tell you've been on before as well, because you know if you say any politician, however well-known they are, they tend to score very low. She used to teach political science at Florida State University before she entered Parliament. I think I would have stayed in Florida rather than gone to the House
Northern
of
Ireland
Parliament.
office. There we are. I think so. That's all that orange juice.
Lovely.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Joe, welcome. How lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, you retired from competitive tennis in sort of the mid-90s. Is that an emotional thing to do when you play your fast... I think it was Wimbledon where you bowed out, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really tough, actually, because you get so hooked into performing in front of everybody and it gives you such a buzz. So I decided, I better retire. My knees were giving up. So I better get off the court. So I played on court 1, which was fantastic because I could go over and give my coach, Alan Jones, a hug because I didn't think I could climb up on centre court. That would look terrible.
Very good. Now, Joe, what are you going to go for on our board here?
Well, I'm going to go for the female disciple of Jesus, who I'm hoping is Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, says Joe. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Mary Magdalene.
Ooh.
Mary Magdalene is right. 63. 63 for Mary Magdalene.
We were talking earlier, Joe and I, and we were talking about that thing about, the person who beats the person who beats the person, who's the best. And I was saying, how many steps are you away from beating Serena Williams? And she said, well, I beat Steffi Graf and Steffi Graf beat Serena Williams, so I guess one step away.
Yeah, one step.
That's not bad going,
What
is
about
it?
that?
We'd have to go a little bit further, I think.
A little bit further.
Yeah, a little bit further.
I think you'd go a very long time in my case. Thank you very much, Richard. Sam.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pointless.
Thank you.
Now, ridiculously, as you said, most people probably think of you as a glamour model, but actually that was only 4 years of your life, I think, wasn't it, that you did that? You had this huge career as a singer. You sold, I think this is right, you sold over 30 million records.
Yeah, I have, and still going strong. I'm just working on my 10th album now.
10th?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Gonna
And
do
did
the
I
two
hear there's a film as well?
Yeah, we're in talks about doing a movie right now, yeah.
That's exciting. Who are you going to get to play you?
Probably you.
I
think you'd
was
look great
going
in a
to
wig.
say...
No,
seriously,
I really don't know,
shall we
it's
talk
difficult.
later?
We'll talk later, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be...
I've got the outfits for you.
That'd be great.
I think, listen, it's you or Margot Robbie, one or the other. I think you can go against each other.
You could play Mick Fleetwood. That'd be brilliant.
Exactly.
That'd be nice. Now, Sam, what are you going to go for on our board of MMs?
I'm going to go for the partner of Vivienne Westwood in the shop called Sex.
And?
And it's Malcolm McLaren.
Malcolm McLaren, says Sam. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Malcolm McLaren. It's right. Well, 63 is our high score, 14 is our low. You passed the high score. 31. Look at that, Sam. Very good indeed. Nicely done.
Well played, Sam. Some good answering all round there. Yeah, Vivienne Westwood and Malcolm McLaren sort of did that. They kind of laid down that kind of cartoon punk hybrid. He did the hype and she did the costumes and the look.
Strong partnership. No, thank you very much. John, welcome. I can't believe it's taken us this long to get you on point as celebrities.
I know, it's sad, but there we are.
I just discovered recently that you, in order to be a weather presenter on television, you were actually a Met Office employee, not a...
Absolutely, I was, yes,
yeah.
that's right.
So you weren't part of the BBC at all? You were a civil servant, really?
No, many people thought I was working for the BBC and they said to me, why did you leave the BBC after all those years? Which I did in end of 2000. But I actually joined the Met Office straight from school with my A-levels in maths and physics.
Isn't that extraordinary?
And jumping into radio and television came quite by accident many, many years later. I was not even a volunteer. I was suggested as somebody who had a bit of a glint in the eye, just like you, Alexander.
And, this is nice. This is a good show. I'm enjoying this. I've got a glint. I've got a part in a movie. It's amazing.
It's the only way I can get through this game, by flattery. So I was actually selected for an audition and got through.
Went straight through.
Yeah.
And then had a song written about you, which is nice.
Well, yes, and
Obviously.
many people still remember that song. Of a certain age, I have to say.
Yeah, it's an excellent
Nobody
song.
under 18 knows who I am.
I don't believe that. Now, John, do you want to go through this board and fill in all our blanks for us?
I find these things very difficult, so I'm going to go for the obvious one, and I am going to go for Michael McIntyre.
Michael McIntyre. OK, Michael McIntyre, says John. For which one? Sorry, John, I should have asked that, yeah.
Well, he was a very, very well-known Italian footballer, but he was also a comedian who won a BAFTA in 2017.
Got it. Thank you very much indeed. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Michael McIntyre. It's right. It's right. Look at that. Very well done. Look at that. Not a bad score. 37. 37 for Michael McIntyre.
Yeah, not a bad score at all. Much better score than Marilyn Monroe, the one above. She would have scored you 62 points. The footballer was the best answer on the board, and it was Marco Materazzi. Would have scored you 5 points. Very well done if you said that. And Eminem's real name?
Marshall Mathers.
Marshall Mathers. And that would have scored you 33. So well done if you said Marco Materazzi, best answer on the board.
There we are. We're halfway through our first round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. Now then, 14, Carol.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
I'm really pleased.
So you should be. Well done. Fabulous low score there. 14. Then we travel up to 31, where we find Sam and Duncan. Then we travel up to 37, where we find John and Lizzie. And then it is 63, I'm afraid, for Bob and Joe. You're a little bit ahead, but Bob, a nice low-scoring MM on the next board would be marvellous. Just keep you with us. That'd be nice. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, shall we put 7 more clues up on the board? Here they are. All the answers to these are names that begin with the initials MM. We've got 20th century French mime, famous for his white-faced character Bip. Former EastEnders star who had a UK #1 with Perfect Moment in 1999. Entrepreneur and lingerie brand founder who has made a peer in the House of Lords in 2015. Canadian comedian and actor known for playing Wayne Campbell and voicing Shrek. Nurse who was made matron-in-chief of the British armies in France during World War I. Children's author who wrote Private Peaceful and Warhorse. And US TV star and activist who became engaged to Prince Harry in November 2017. Let me read all of those again. 20th century French mime, famous for his white-faced character, Bip. Former EastEnders star who had a UK #1 with Perfect Moment in 1999. Entrepreneur and lingerie brand founder who has made a peer in the House of Lords in 2015. Canadian comedian and actor known for playing Wayne Campbell and voicing Shrek. Nurse who was made matron-in-chief of the British armies in France during World War I. Children's author who wrote Private Peaceful and Warhorse. And the US TV star and activist who became engaged to Prince Harry in November 2017. Lizzie, welcome back.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you with us again. Now, I want to ask, there you are, you burst into our lives on TVAM, full of vigour and energy and fitness and things like that. How did this come about?
Well, that's because I was teaching at the Dance Centre in Covent Garden and various other places. And then you never know who you're teaching when people come into your classes. And this girl came up to me and she said, I'm Greg Dyke's PA. And Greg Dyke said, BBC Breakfast has opened up and we'd like to, on TV, have a fitness presenter. And I've said, you're mad when I come to your classes. And it's stuck ever since.
That was it?
Lizzie.
So did you go in, do you have to do an audition or something like that? Or did you just go straight onto screen?
Yes, I had to do a TV thing, yes. Little pilot.
And cruise through?
Well, it was a great 10 years.
Yeah, I
So I'm
bet.
very grateful to her.
Good stuff. Now, Lizzie, you're on 37. At this stage, this early stage, if you could score 25 or thereabouts, you should be through to the next round. What are you thinking?
Ooh. I can never pronounce his name. I'm going to go for the children's author. I'll try and pronounce it. Michael Morpurgo.
Michael Morpurgo?
Yes. Yes.
Michael Morpurgo. OK. There is your red line. Now, let's see what happens when we say Michael Morpurgo. It's right. There we oh, look at that, on 24. Very well done indeed. Through you go to round 2. That takes your total up to 61.
Yeah, it's Michael Morpurgo, but I'm going to give you that. I think it's a perfectly acceptable answer. Children's laureate from 2003 to 2005. A terrific writer.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, Duncan, how amazing. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, I mean, we have to... Duncan Norvell, the character you played, I mean, his catchphrase, I suppose, was chase me, which caught on.
That happened to me in a club in Scotland when I pinched this fella's drink and he didn't laugh. It was an old joke I used to do when I was doing Michael Crawford. I'd say, is your house lined with this new foam to keep the heat in? He says, you've got to be joking. I said, well, you could be losing this much every week. And I drunk his drink straight down. And he just looked at me and I said, go on, chase me. Yeah, he chased me. Yeah.
Chase you, all
He's
right?
still outside now, waiting for me to...
Now then, Duncan, you're on 31, thanks to Sam's brilliant score in the first pass. If you can score another 31, you're through to the next round.
The only one I can think of is probably the most obvious one up there.
Do you want me to read any out for you?
The second one, please.
The second one, former EastEnders star who had a UK #1 with Perfect Moment in 1999.
Yeah. That's Martine. She's got black hair, very pretty.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. This is all helping, it's all helping. Martina
McClutchinson. Yeah, take that.
OK, Martina McClutchison.
McClutchinson, yeah.
McClutchison. OK, we'll take that, Duncan. Martina McClutchison. Here is your red line. If you can get below that, you're into the next round. What happens when we say Martina McClutchinson? No bad luck. I'm sorry, Duncan. That scores you 100 points. I'm really sorry. It takes your total up to 131. The game's not over yet, though.
Yeah, sorry, Duncan. I think you got all the right letters, just not necessarily in the right order.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Bob, welcome to Pointless. It's lovely to have you here. Now, the 80s, what an extraordinary thing for you. I mean, you came back from cancer and then you stormed through, you know, the most difficult steeplechase in the world, the most famous as well, winning on Aldenite in 1981, which must have been incredible for you.
He was the right horse on the right day, but he'd had more problems than myself, actually.
Yeah.
He'd been broken down 4 or 5 times and kept coming back, and the governor, Josh Gifford, did a terrific job, produced him for the day.
And then we all got to relive it all over again when John Owen's film came out. What,
Yeah.
about 2 or 3 years later, Champions?
Yeah, a couple of years later, and John Hurt played myself.
Amazing.
Fantastic actor, but
Yeah.
had some really good actors in it as well.
Oh, it's a great
And,
film.
you know, Kirstie Alley and Ben Johnson, you name it.
Fantastic, Bob. Fantastic. Now, there you are on 63. We need a score of 67 or less from you, Bob.
The Canadian comedian, Michael Myers.
Michael Myers or Mike Myers. Let's see if that's right. Here is your red line. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Mike Myers. Absolutely right. Through you go. Very well done indeed. Round 2 waits for you. It's 40, taking your total up to 103.
Well played, Bob. I told you they wouldn't muck about on podium 2. You know that, yeah. He's a Canadian, of course, but born of Liverpudlian parents. Got two Liverpudlian parents.
Thank you very much indeed. Of course, you're a Liverpudlian.
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Of course, Dennis.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you. Wonderful to have you here. I was 11 when Musical Youth came out, when Past the Duchy went straight to #1. I mean, was it amazing? Did you remember much of it, or did it just happen in a whirl?
No, I remember a lot of it because I was the oldest in the band, so
Yeah.
I carry a lot of memories.
But you're still involved in music, aren't
Yes,
you?
I am, yes.
Still writing?
We still write, yeah, we've just recorded a new album called When Reggae Was King.
And what's the name of your act now?
Musical Youth.
But you're still Musical Youth?
I'm one of the only 4 members on this earth that can still be called Musical Youth at my age.
Oh, see, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Now, Dennis, I have great news. Thanks to Carol's amazing answer in the first pass, you are already through to the next round. So it doesn't matter what you score. That takes the pressure off. I'm still banking on you coming up with a nice low score here, Dennis. So do you want to talk us through the board and fill in the blanks for us?
I'll have former EastEnders star who had a UK #1 with Perfect Moment in 1999, Martine McCutcheon.
Oh, Duncan, Martine McCutcheon.
Sorry,
You
Duncan.
were there.
That's got to be wrong as well.
Let's see, no red line for you, you're already through. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Martine McCutcheon. It's right. 28 for Martine McCutcheon, taking your total up to 42.
Well played, Dennis. Great answer. Shall we have a little look at the rest of these? The 20th century French mime.
Marcel Marceau.
Marcel Marceau. Oui. 25 points for that. The entrepreneur, do you know that?
Moan is the... I can't...
Michelle Moan. She would have scored you 16 points. Now, this nurse is a pointless answer, and it was Maud McCarthy. Maud McCarthy. There's a blue plaque to her in Chelsea. And the US star and activist
is Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. She would have scored you 73 points. Very well done if you said Maud McCarthy. Michelle Moan also a very low scorer on that board.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So we are at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, Duncan and Sam. I'm afraid it's you we have to say goodbye to. It's been lovely having you here. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
today.
you.
Can we come back?
Yes, please come back and play any time you like. Duncan and Sam, wonderful.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it is now time for round 2. Well done, all 3 pairs. Very strong performance in round 1 there. If I had 100 hats, I'd take them all off to you. Carol, our lowest individual scorer. Carol and Dennis, our lowest combined scorers. But you all did well. Best of luck to all 3 pairs. Our category for round 2 this evening is... words. Can you all decide in your pairs? Who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many words ending UB as they could.
Tricky one, that. Looking for any word which has its own entry in the World and English section of oxforddictionaries.com, please. That ends UB. As always, no proper nouns. So anything ending UB. I'll have a little think about yours.
Yes.
It's quite a tricky one.
Yeah, I've thought of a sort of as a make do.
OK.
I'll try and see if I can make it better.
OK,
though.
I'll predict your make do and something else.
OK. Good. Thank you. Now, Dennis, what would you like to go for?
My word is dub.
Stands to reason, surely. Dub, says
Dub.
Dennis. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said dub. 43 for dub.
I mean, it seems a very appropriate word, Dennis. If you were to define dub in concern of reggae, how would you define dub?
It's just the bass and drum.
Just the bass and drum.
Just the bass and drum.
There you go.
It's dub. That's a
It's
sort of
dub.
onomatopoeia like this. It's a really good... I've got a good dub here.
I need a bass line with that. Not quite.
And suddenly you invent...
Not quite.
Suddenly you
Dennis
invented
says not
dubstep.
quite. My dub...
I can't accept that.
My
I'm not
dub's not
accepting
up.
that.
What was wrong with the dub?
Well, it was more... It was... Yeah, there you go. See, Carol got it.
Oh, gosh, she's got it.
I think Dennis just gave you 100 points, I'm afraid.
I feel about that big.
He was doing more funk.
Yeah, there's more funk. That's very good.
Oh, that's good. I'll take funk.
Yeah, it's kind of P-funk you were doing there.
Yeah,
Very
good.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. OK, there we
Lovely.
go. Thank you very much. Now, Bob. Words ending UB.
Shrub.
Shrub, says Bob. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for shrub.
Oh. Oh, it's worked.
Shrub. Well, 43 is the only score we have at the moment. And we pass it admirably down to 22. Very well done indeed, Bob. Shrub.
Well played, Bob. Yeah, and that's a type of reggae where you play the bass line on a rhododendron.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, John, what are you thinking of?
There's only one word comes to mind, and it was very nearly the same as Bob. I would scrub.
Scrub, says John. OK, well, shrub's 22. What is scrub? $29 for scrub.
See, quite often on these rounds, there's some very, very good kind of low scorers, and these would be high scores. Quite hard at UB, funnily enough, isn't it? I bet even you're having trouble.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you're still stuck with the original one you
I
thought
am,
up, which I predicted here.
Yeah, I just want to have a think. I need time to think. I never have time. I do all the chatting.
No, I know you
Don't
do the
have-
chatting.
I have- do you
And
know?
Also, you tried to
And you
sell
do-
some reggae to Dennis, and that
Yeah.
went badly.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, I know you've taken a knock.
It's exactly what I've taken.
Yeah. Your new album, Shrub, Scrub, Dub, is not...
It's not going to happen.
is it?
It's not going to fly.
No.
Thank you, Richard. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 22, look at that. Well done, Bob. Then up to 29, where we find John and Lizzie. Then up to 43, not that far ahead, Dennis and Carol, but a little bit ahead. We need one of your very, very clever low-scoring answers, Carol,
We'll
to
try.
keep you back in the game.
It's hard to get lower than me, I know.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, I have faith.
It's been said.
Good luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? So, Lizzie, remember, we are looking for words that end in the letters U-B.
I'll go for snub.
Snub. Now, here is your red line. You have got a red line. If you can get close to that, then things are looking good. Let's see how many of our 100 people said snub. Not bad at all. 21. I think that's good enough. It's certainly our lowest score so far, taking your total up to a nice round 50.
Yes, Snub, it's essentially what Dennis did to you just now.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Joe, now we have a target for you of 27.
Oh.
27 or less.
Dear.
You'll be sure of a place in the next round.
I'm going to go for daub.
Oh, you are wonderful, Joe.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I'm
don't know
leaving
yet.
now. I just know.
I salute you. That is brilliant. Daub, you see?
Keeping fingers crossed.
You see, there's your red line. Ugh. I mean, that's just academic. Let's see how many of our 100 people said daub.
God.
You're through, by the way. Down it goes to 12. Very well done indeed. 34 is your total.
Very well played, Joe. Once again, I said, you know, I mean, we might as well just sat out the first couple of rounds and we just put you straight through to the head-to-head. Can't beat the sports people. You can't do it.
You cannot. Just brilliant. Now then, Carol, little bit of pressure on you there. We're looking for a target score of 6 for you here. It can be done. It can be done. Come on, Carol, if anyone can do this, you can.
OK. I'm going to go with cherub.
Ooh.
Look at that. Here's your red line. Can you get below that red line with cherub? Shall we find out how many people said cherub?
Correct answer.
It's right. Oh, no! 12 for cherub! 12! It's such a good answer. It is the joint lowest score of the round. You share with Joe that honour, but I'm afraid it takes your total up to 55.
Yeah, it's a terrific answer, Carol. That's unlucky. I tell you what, though, Dennis came up with dub, but you've both been in the studio enough times that redub would have scored you 4 points, overdub would have scored you 1 point.
I never have to do them, so it just... really good. Yeah.
Talking of which, we will put that to the test later, because I know I can exclusively reveal you'll be playing us out at the end of the show, which is something to really look forward to. So
I thought it was going to be Bob.
No, it's not Bob, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's Carol. Wonderful.
Have you got an answer?
Yeah, I've gone for wash tub. Not bathtub, wash tub.
OK, wash tub.
Yeah, 100
It's a
points.
pointless answer. Very well done. Never happens.
That's good.
Never happens. I thought you were going to say hubbub.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which would have scored 10 points. 10 points for hubbub. Let's take a look at the pointless answers now. Some nice ones in here. Brew pub is a pointless answer. Gastropub, all one word, that's in the dictionary, would have been a pointless answer. To mudder grub is to complain about something, to whinge about something, to mudder grub. Whereas a muddy grub is more like a witchetty grub, you know, the sort of things you get in Australia. Now, fub is an interesting word, it's in the dictionary now. It's a portmanteau word of phone and snub. And it's essentially when someone is on their phone and ignoring you because they're looking at something on their phone. They are fubbing you. Subshrub is essentially a smaller version of a shrub. So shrub was a lovely answer, but subshrub would have been a pointless answer. There's another word for that, which is undershrub, same thing. Super pub just means a big pub. Wash tub, very well done. And unsub, to unsubscribe, that's also a pointless answer. Very well done if you said any of those. Top three answers, pub, hub, tub. Those are the top three.
There we go. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. We are at the end of our second round, which means we have to say goodbye to another of our pairs. Oh, Carol and Dennis, I can't bear it.
Are we leaving?
Well, you're not leaving. You've got to go and do your warm-ups now, because you're going to be
yeah.
singing for us at the end, which is going to be such a treat. But it's been great having you here. Please
Thank
come
you.
and play again. Carol and Dennis, wonderful. Right, for our two remaining pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Well, here we are in the head-to-head of our 1980s special, and congratulations, John Ketley, Lizzie Webb, Bob Champion and Joe Jury. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,500. But this is the part where we decide who goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot, and we do it by making you go head-to-head. But there's a difference, and it is this. You're now allowed to play as a pair, so you can confer before you give your answers. First pair in this round to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns cryptic cosmetics. Richard.
Yep, we're going to show you 5 pictures now that represent various types of cosmetic. We're also going to show you alternate letters of the cosmetics, but what are they, please?
Wow, they represent... They're clues rather than pictures.
Like cryptic clues.
OK, cryptic picture clues to cosmetics. OK, well, here they come. We have got A, F-U-D-T-O. B, H-I-S-R-Y. C, T-N-R. D, E-E-H-D-W. And E, H-G-L-G-T-R. There we are, 5 visual clues to cosmetics. John and Lizzie, you're the low scorers, so you'll go first.
It's very obvious.
Yes.
But it's the only one I know at the moment.
Yes.
Do you want to go for it, or is that stupid? Can we go for highlighter?
Yes, highlighter for E, say John and Lizzie. Now then, Bob and Joe, it's over to you. Do you fancy talking us through the rest of that board?
No, thanks.
We'll go for D, eyeshadow.
D, eyeshadow. So we have highlighter and eyeshadow. John and Lizzie went for highlighter for E. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right. Hey. Wow. Highlighter, scoring 91. Now, meanwhile, Bob and Joe have gone for eyeshadow for D. Let's see how many of our 100 people said eyeshadow. It's right, and it wins you the point. Very strong indeed. Now, 67 for eyeshadow means Bob and Joe, after one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, they're all pretty big scorers up there. Those are actually the 2 highest scorers of all. The best answer is A, which is foundation. Would have scored you 45. B is
hairspray.
Hairspray. Would have scored you 58. And C, toner, and that would have scored you 64.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, now, here comes your second question. John and Lizzie, you have to win this one, stay in the game.
Yeah.
But Bob and Joe get to answer it first. So, yeah, best of luck with that. Our second question this evening is all about the Beatles singles with contrasted titles. Richard.
To show you the titles now are 5 UK Top 40 hits for the Beatles, but we've changed their titles to the exact opposite. Can you tell us what the original titles were, please?
Thank you very much indeed. OK, let's reveal our 5 opposite versions of Beatles tracks. And here they are. We've got Go Separately, 1969, Hinder, 1965, He Hates Me, 1963, Tomorrow, 1976, and Nothing, 1969. Let me read those one last time. Go Separately, Hinder, He Hates Me, Tomorrow, and Nothing. There we are. Bob and Joe will go first.
We'll go for the Tomorrow one, Yesterday.
Yesterday, say Bob and Joe. Now then, John and Lizzie, can you talk us through that board?
Well, He Hates Me as She Loves Me.
Yeah. Is there an everything? Nothing, everything? Go separately.
OK, what are you going to go for?
It has to be She Loves Me.
I think it's a good one anyway, frankly. After the bad start we made.
She Loves Me.
She Loves Me. OK, so we have Yesterday and we have She Loves Me. Bob and Joe have gone for Yesterday for tomorrow. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Yesterday. 79. Meanwhile, John and Lizzie have gone for She Loves Me. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Is it right?
She loves you, isn't it?
She loves you. Do you know, I made
you.
exactly the same mistake. Exactly the same mistake. But that means Bob and Joe, very well done indeed. After only 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0.
Well
Yeah, listen, I told you the sports people always find a way to win. I'm not sure they've worked out exactly what the way was, but they have managed it. Yeah, I think lots of people made the same mistake. It is She Loves You, of course, but it only scored 34, which suggests to me that an awful lot of people said She Loves Me. The top one, Go Separately.
Come Together.
Come Together. Yep.
Oh.
Would have scored you 36. Hinder.
Help.
Help. Exactly. Help would have scored you 46.
So what's the Nothing
And
one?
Nothing.
Is Something.
Something would have scored you 21.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, John and Lizzie, I'm afraid it's you. What a treat it's been having you here, and you've played so well right across the show.
Thank you very much.
Really
Thank
wonderful.
you.
for having us.
Thank you so much, John and Lizzie.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
But for Bob and Joe, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Bob champion, Joe jury. You have seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy.
Oh, we get a trophy.
Oh, you get a trophy?
Seriously?
You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot for your charities. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £2,500. Well, like your man said, I don't know how you did it, but you've done it. Here
We
you
don't know
are.
how we did it either.
In the fight. Well, that was just fantastic. You played a blinder in that head-to-head round. And here you are in the final. What we need from you at this stage is a pointless answer, obviously. What's going to help you get that jackpot home for your charities?
Sport.
Sport would help. Tennis.
Or horse racing, obviously.
OK,
We
anything.
won't get the answers.
Well, let's find out. then.
We'll try.
There'll be 4 options for you on the board. You just have to pick whichever one you like the best. And I hope there's something up here you both feel you can have a crack at. Centuries in sports, gardening, Berlin, bride films.
Gotta go sport. Yeah,
We'll have to do it, won't we?
yeah definitely.
We've got to go for centuries in
I
sports.
think you better had. Richard.
OK, very best of luck. 3 different categories here, 3 different sports, neither of which are horse racing or tennis, I'm afraid, but
thank
fingers
you.
crossed. Come on. Hopefully, fingers crossed, one of these will suit you. We're looking for any of the following, please. Looking for anyone who has got 100 or more rugby union test caps for any rugby union nation. Looking for anyone who scored 10 or more test centuries for England. Or we're looking for any man who scored 100 or more Premier League goals. This is the beginning of the Premier League. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers. Just one of those answers has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot for your charities. You don't have to answer all 3 categories. Just focus on whichever category or categories you like the look of. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready. Yes,
You're
we're
ready, OK. There is your minute. Your time starts now.
OK.
One,
So Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah.
Would that be one? And Michael Vaughan. How about... You must know footballers.
Yeah, I think John Terry.
Ah, OK. So John
Might
Terry.
be wrong there, but
Obviously, Gary Lineker's just
Gary
not going to
Lineker.
be a pointless. How about more cricketers? Did Ian Botham get...
Ian Botham must have done.
But he's probably a big
but you'd
scorer.
I think your selection
Do you?
on the cricket.
OK. Do we know any rugby? Obviously, Johnny Wilkinson, that's too big. Oh, my goodness.
I suppose Johnny Wilkinson.
But any more footballers? 100 more? Well, Harry Kane, obviously, at the moment.
John Terry, that's...
I think that's a good
I think
one.
he could be a pointless answer.
OK.
10 seconds left.
Yeah. I don't think we're... That's it, I think.
OK, should we let our minute just run out there? Sounds like you've got 3 answers. What can you give me?
Go on, then.
So I'll do Sachin Tendulkar for the cricket.
Sachin Tendulkar.
John Terry for the Premier League.
John Terry.
And... Go on, John.
Michael Vaughan.
Michael Vaughan.
And Michael Vaughan.
Yep.
For the cricket. OK. Now, of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I think John Terry.
We'll go for John Terry.
John Terry goes last. Least likely to be pointless?
Michael Vaughan. I
Michael
think.
Vaughan, then Sachin Tendulkar goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Michael Vaughan, Sachin Tendulkar, and John Terry. Very best of luck. 3 lovely answers on the board there. If one of these turns out to be pointless and wins that jackpot for your charities, which charities are you playing for? Bob?
I'm playing for the Bob Champion Cancer Trust, of course.
As one would hope. Joe, how about you?
For the RNLI lifeboats, for those brave men and women who go out.
Yeah, brilliant.
2 excellent charities there. Let's hope one of these answers will be pointless and will win that jackpot for your charities. Your first answer was Michael Vaughan. In this case, we were looking for any cricketer with 10 or more test centuries to their name. If Michael Vaughan is pointless, £2,500 will be making its way to your charities. How many of our 100 people said Michael Vaughan? It's right. It just has to be pointless now for that £2,500 to go to your charities. Down we go with Michael Vaughan through the 20s. We're into the teens. We're into single figures. Down we go with Michael Vaughan to 5. OK. OK. 5 for Michael Vaughan. But that was the answer you put first, the one you thought was probably least likely to be pointless. It's looking very good for your next answers, we must hope. Sachin Tendulkar is your next answer in the same category. Let's find out how many of our 100 people said Sachin Tendulkar for £2,500. Is it pointless? Interesting.
Interesting.
We now turn to your third and final answer, John Terry. This is the one you thought from the beginning felt like it was going to be your pointless winner. 100 or more Premier League goals is what we're looking for. You've gone for John Terry. If John Terry's pointless, you win £2,500 for your charities. How many people said John Terry? No! Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that sounded like a great answer, but I'm afraid an incorrect answer. So you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £2,500. However, as it's a celebrity special, we are going to donate £500 to each celebrity pair for their respective charities. So well done.
you.
It's been lovely having you on. Bob and Joe, you played so well across the show. So well done.
Yeah, very well played throughout the show. John Terry, because he was a defender, he wasn't a huge goal scorer. Scored 40-odd goals, but nowhere near the 100. And Sachin Tendulkar, the greatest Test run scorer of all time, certainly centuries, but he didn't play for England.
Oh.
There's your big problem. I wish that he did. Let's take a look, shall we, at the different pointless answers. We'll start with rugby union. Brian Habana from South Africa was a pointless answer. Gethin Jenkins, well done if you said that. Jamie Heaslip, 95 caps for Ireland, 5 for the Lions, and Philippe Sella as well. Everyone was pointless there, apart from Brian O'Driscoll, Jason Leonard, Dan Carter, David Campese, Paul O'Connell, Richie McCaw, Adam Wynne-Jones, Ronan O'Gara, John Smith and Rory Best. Everyone else with 100 Test caps was a pointless answer. Now, those 10 or more centuries for England. Let's take a look. There'll be some names you know here. Alex Stewart was a pointless answer. Alan Lamb, Jack Hobbs, Paul Collingwood, and again, a lot of the older players. Colin Cowdrey, Dennis Amos, Herbert Sutcliffe, John Edrich, Ken Barrington, Peter May and Tom Graveney. All pointless answers. Well done if you said that. Now, the footballers who scored 100 or more. 2 points for Les Ferdinand, Teddy Sheringham, Robbie Fowler, Emile Heskey. 1 point for Matt Le Tissier, Dion Dublin, Dwight York and Didier Drogba. And these were pointless answers. Jermaine Defoe, Peter Crouch, Robbie Keane, Romelu Lukaku. You also could have had Nicolas Anelka, Paul Scholes, Darren Bent, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Robin van Persie and Sergio Aguero. Very well done if you got a pointless answer at home.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard, and thank you so much, Bob and Joe. We've loved having you here. Thank you for playing and playing so well. Bob and Joe, everyone. Brilliant. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on pointless celebrities. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. But before we go, singing us out with China in Your Hand, it's Carol Decker.
It was a theme she had on a scheme he had, told in a foreign land, to take life on earth to the second birth, and the man was in command. It was a flight on the wings of a young girl's dreams that flew too far away. So push too far, your dreams are China in your hand. Don't wish too hard because they may come true, and she can't help them. You don't know what you might have set upon yourself. China in your hand. Come from greed, never born on the sea, took a life from a barren hand. Oh, eyes wide like a child in the form of man. A prophecy for fantasy because of a vivid mind. Don't push too far, your dreams are China in your hands. Don't wish too hard because they may come true, and you can't help it. You don't know what you might have said upon yourself. You shouldn't push too far, no, no. Don't push too far, your dreams are China in your hands. Don't wish too hard because they may come true, and you can't help them. You don't know what you might have said upon yourself.